Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Enoch, and if you're just joining me for the first time, if you can please subscribe to my channel. And why does this channel exist? So this channel exists essentially to share ideas and to talk about success. So that's financial success, mental health success, physical health success, career success, marital success, just essentially having a successful life now and in the future. So please feel free to scan through my channel, look for videos that are of interest to you, watch these videos. If you enjoy them, comment on them. If you really enjoy them, like them. If you think, oh, there's someone that needs to watch this video, then share my videos with your friends and family and folks within your network, and let's all learn, let's all share, and let's all grow together. Recently, I've had to rejig the family budget, and the reason I've done this is because of the changes in prices, essentially, sort of our everyday prices. What I'm talking about today is how to increase your income. And when I say income, I don't necessarily mean your 9 to 5 income. I'm talking of your overall income, and that will include 9 to 5. How can we get more pounds into your bank account every day, every month, is what I'm looking to share today. Why am I sharing this? Why is this topic relevant today? Why is it relevant now? I'm sure those of you that watch TV or read the news or any form of media, you probably have heard of inflation. You've heard of inflation going up. So I'm thinking this is a good opportunity to share what does inflation mean, and how does it affect you, and hopefully how does that interact with the whole idea around increasing your income. So inflation in layman's term is if on the 1st of March 2021 you bought a phone for £100, and then on the 1st of March 2022 you bought exactly the same phone with exactly the same spec for £110. So from 2021 to 2022, the price of that phone has gone up by £10. So percentage-wise, that is a 10% increase in the price of that phone. Essentially, that is the inflation rate on that phone. That's a simplified approach to inflation. So the way inflation is really calculated is a lot of products and services are put into a basket. When I say basket, I mean the prices of these products are calculated in 2021, and those same products, the prices are calculated or are sort of compiled in 2022, and then there's a comparison between both years, and then based on that there's a determination of, okay, prices have gone up from 2021 to 2022 by a certain percentage point. And the way government works, UK government specifically, how they calculate the inflation rate is they take products that are everyday products, so the products you and I use every day, to determine, okay, based on the prices of this product going up, the inflation rate in this country is going to by this amount, because these are the things that people use, and prices going up will affect them. So that's inflation in a nutshell. In the 12 months to February 2022, prices rose by 6.2%. So that means the inflation rate was 6.2%. That's quite significant. That is going to affect a lot of people. It's going to hit a lot of people in the pocket. For some of us, we can soak up this price rise. For some, living on the breadline, as they call it, a 1% tip could potentially affect them. So 6.2% is quite significant. And what prices are generally going up? As a lot of you have heard, electricity, gas prices going up. There's going to be an increase of roughly about £800 increase from last year to this year. That is a lot of money. That works out to about £65-70 per month for households. That's a lot of money for some people living here in the UK. What else has gone up? Fuel bill has gone up. So if you're filling up your tank now, I've seen that. Not too long ago, it's £1.30 per litre. Now you're looking at £170, £180 per litre. That's about 50p increase per litre. That is a lot. What else has gone up? So price of food generally has gone up. And something else that went up from the 1st of April is national insurance rates. Brings me to my point around why do we then need to start thinking about increasing our revenue, increasing our income, the household income, the money that comes into the household account on a daily and monthly basis, because we can't control these costs. Everything I've just shared around fuel bill, you can't control it to an extent. Electricity and gas, you must heat your home, you must cook, you must run everything in your house. National insurance contribution, you cannot run away from it. As long as you're working, you need to pay it. Food, you need to buy food. So really there's nothing you can do about the cost of food rising. So what you can do is, how do you limit some of the impact? So what I'll be doing in my next video is I'll be sharing how can we reduce our overall cost. I thought maybe first to tackle how can we increase our revenue. So I've got 5 ideas. Let's go. So idea number 1, boost your salary. So if you're currently on 20 grand, you should be thinking, how do I get from 20 grand to 30 grand? And that's a rough example, but really you should start thinking, how do I increase my salary? And how to do that, 2 ways, several ways, but 2 ways I want to share is essentially just go out to the market, see what's out in the market. In some industries, in some sectors, the market is really hot. There is a lot of conversation around talent war. So a lot of companies are fighting for the same number of people and for a limited number of talents. So if you are fortunate enough to be in that pool, then you should take advantage of that and see how you can work your salary up. And even if you're not in a pool that is being, where there's no competition for that talent, still go out in the market, speak to recruiters, look on job sites to see how you can, get a higher role or even a similar role that pays better, because some of us sometimes we sit in the same company because we love that company and, the devil, but sometimes you just need to get, especially in these, tough times, if you're feeling the squeeze, then you really should think about, first of all, yourself and your family and how you can make sure you've got enough money to run your household. And one of that is getting out there and maybe leaving your comfort zone for maybe not a greener pasture, but a different pasture. That's one. And then 2, you could upskill, and by upskilling, learn a new skill and pick up a new certification and be strategic about it. So upskill in the area where there's high demand. There's a lot of high demand in IT, in the healthcare sector, and in different sectors really. So do some research, and even if within your area there could be potentially specific, niche areas within your general area where there's a high demand for your talent. So upskill in that area and then move into that area, and you could potentially, be having some serious salary increase of 20, 40, 50% and even more. And what that means is cost of food, cost of fuel, cost of all these costs is going up by a certain amount. Let's assume based on inflation rate 6.2%, but you can increase your salary by 10%. You've wiped out that cost increase, and in fact you're coming home with an extra 3.8%. So try increase your salary. That's point number 1. Point number 2, as adults we've gathered so much knowledge, we've gained a lot of skills, and sometimes you just naturally have some talents. So think and ask yourself, so this is some time for self-reflection. What do I have in my hands? What do I have in my brain? What do I have on my body that I can take out there to earn more money? So you could be an accountant, or you could be a marketing manager, or whatever. However, is there something else or you can do that can help you, sell your skill sets out there in the market? So I'll give an example. So using the example of an accountant, you're an accountant, you work for a financial services company. However, because you're an accountant, you've learned over the years how to do accounts for small companies. Then you should put yourself out there and get some small companies, small businesses accounts, sole trader accounts, and help them with their account, help them with their VAT, and you can help them with that tax calculation, and that's extra money for you. However, if you're an accountant and you think, I want to do something different from my 9 to 5, I want to use my skill sets to generate income outside my general, my 9 to 5 skill set, then think widely. So same example, you're this same accountant, however, you got very strong mathematics knowledge, then maybe you should consider tutoring. There's a lot of money in tutoring actually. I've heard you could earn as much as 30-40 pounds per hour tutoring. So get online, find websites where you can register to be a tutor, and I'm sure over time you start building up sort of tutoring clients in your area, and maybe even wider. And who knows, you may enjoy it so much you may quit your job and just become a full-time tutor. So that's another way to potentially increase your household income. And what's that tip? Do some self-reflection and decide what skills you have that you can take out to the market to bring more money in, to make sure the 6.2% inflation rate isn't touching you at all. That's tip number 2. So let's move on to tip number 3. Count your rooms. And I mean that literally. So, how many rooms do you have in your household? And are all those rooms being used? If all those rooms are not being used, then you can consider putting the spare room or the spare rooms on Airbnb. And you can also consider having a longer term tenant. So maybe someone comes in for a month or 3 months or 6 months or a year, depending on your family circumstances and your ability to cohabit with someone else, essentially a stranger. Because if you look at it from a rent perspective, you could potentially be bringing in an extra 500, 600 pounds into your household every month. And if you look at it from the point of view of Airbnb, especially if you live in an area that is quite central. So for example, if you live in Edinburgh and you live very close to the city center, you could be making some serious money from Airbnb, especially once the weather begins to brighten up, which has begun. We're already in April, so we're seeing longer days. Holiday season has kicked in, so there could be opportunities for you to make some cool cash and again help you push that income up to the point where the expenses going up does not really touch you. In summary, what's point number 3? Point number 3 is about sharing and learning to cohabit and making some extra cool cash for your household. So let's go to point number 4. Have a car boot sale. So what's a car boot sale? So car boot sale essentially, as it's on the tin, throw some of your things in a car boot. Look for a car boot sale location in your area and essentially just go sell some stuff. Because for most of us over the years, we built things we don't even use anymore. We don't even see anymore. Books, clothing, shoes, maybe toys, just anything you have in your house that you no longer need, and maybe you've even stored away not to be used again. Why store it away when you can clear your house up, lighten up your house, and at the same time make some cool cash? So consider a car boot sale, and how to do that essentially is go online, look for a location, and some of them you need to register, some you just need to turn up, and just sell stuff. And ultimately, if you think of it from a sustainability point of view, helping the environment, because people will come to that car boot sale, maybe a book they could have bought as new, they'll just buy it from you as used, and ultimately save the planet and the environment. You're doing the environment a favor, at the same time you're doing your bank account a favor, and also you're doing your house a favor as well, because then your house is nicer, neater, and tidier. So that's tip number 4, car boot sale. And that leads us to tip number 5. If you've enjoyed what I've shared so far, can you please like, comment, don't share yet, watch till the end, and if you think there's someone that needs to see this, then share with them. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, the subscribe button is somewhere at the bottom, so please hit the subscribe button. Let's grow together, let's continue to share, and let's go into tip number 5. They say journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So I like to remix that as journey of 1,000 miles begins with one keystroke. A lot of us have got ideas of just brimming. We've got business ideas that could potentially solve problems, ideas that could get some money into our accounts, and even ideas that could lead us to leave what we call 9 to 5 and focus and build this idea into a profitable and fast growing business. The problem is we've not taken that first step, we've not, used that first keystroke, we've not put something on paper. This could be the time to do that. I mean, sometimes you need a bit of push to get moving, and this could be the push you need. Maybe you're looking at your bank account now with all the price rises and you're struggling at the end of the month to cross into the new month, and you're not beginning to consider getting loans or maybe cutting off some essential services that you or your family members enjoy. Instead of doing that, why not consider that side hustle and try give it a go this time, because now really is the time. A lot of people win during adversity, during the COVID-19 period. I mean, there's still COVID-19, but in the years 2020, 2021, new businesses sprang up because they took advantage of COVID-19, and some people just thought, there's a pandemic out there. This is the time for me to do what I want to do before I die, really, because I could die. So this really could be the push you need to make that jump. And if you're struggling to start, or you're thinking this idea is so big, it's bigger than me, then think about collaborating. So find people within your circle or within your network that you think, I can partner with this person and we can actually be co-founders of this business or this concept and grow into them. It's better to have, as they say, 1% of 1 billion than 100% of 0 billion. So use that concept to start. If you're not a natural starter, what I've found over the years is, I think some people are just starters. They conceptualize things and then they just run with it. And some people are not starters. So do a self-analysis, and if you think, I've been sitting on a lot of ideas for a long time and I've not really done anything about it, then maybe you're not a starter, and that's okay. What you don't need is find yourself a starter, share your idea with them, someone trusted, obviously, and someone can actually run it with you, and hopefully run the idea. This is the time. There's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of funding for starters, for small businesses, for new businesses. There's a lot of competitions you can get involved in to get cash, to get funding. So there's a lot of support, and there are lots of organizations out there that help businesses start and that help businesses to grow. There's free consultancy services out there. Lots of support. So start that side hustle, and hopefully it can grow to become an extra source of revenue for your household. And ultimately, the goal should be the goal hopefully should be, the business is so successful, you actually just leave your 9 to 5 because that is no longer sustainable anymore. You focus on the business, you grow the business into a respectable and money-making machine, and hopefully then start providing employment for other people. So out of adversity, which is rising inflation, you've gone on to build a business which is now employing other people and paying them respectable living wage. So those are the 5 tips I wanted to share with you today. Hopefully you found that useful. If you found that useful, as I've said earlier, please click the like button, comment. It's really useful. It's really beneficial to the channel if you click on like. So I'm not saying you should click on like just because that's what people say. It actually helps the channel grow, and then by clicking on like, it gets the channel out there to more people to watch and for more people to benefit from it. So like, comment, share. If you stumbled upon us and you're not listening to me at this point, and you haven't subscribed, please, again, at bottom, there should be a button there for subscribe. So please do subscribe. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed sharing this with you. I've actually learned some tips as well as part of preparing to share this video with you. So as I said earlier, my next video will now be, how do we reduce the cost? So what we've done now is we've increased our revenue, yes, and cost is also going up. So what we want to do next is, how do we reduce the cost? So essentially, if you can increase your revenue and reduce cost at the same time, you're winning ×2. So look out for the next video. If you subscribe, you will receive an alert once the video is out, and then hopefully you can learn from that as well. And if you've got other tips as well that you'd like to share, or something you think, or I think you should share this with your audience, then please drop it in the comment section, and I'll definitely find a way to slot it into a future video so we can continue to share amazing knowledge, grow, and be successful together. Thank you.